nutrition is of two types. One is autotrophic nutrition. Second is the heterotrophic nutrition. First one, autotrophic nutrition. Second one, heterotrophic. Autotrophic nutrition, we discussed about photosynthesis in plants, light reaction and dark reaction. Now, heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic, the organisms, the living organisms, they depend on other organisms, especially on the autotrophic organisms for their food purpose. Those are called autotrophs. That nutrition is called, those are called heterotrophs, and that nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. The best example for heterotrophs are all animals. All animals are called heterotrophs. In the animals, protozoans, example amoeba and paramecium. So protozoans they are unicellular organisms. They are called unicellular organisms. These organisms also depend for food on the autotrophs. Coming to amoeba, amoeba is a shapeless organism. Suppose this is an amoeba, and paramecium is a slipper-like organism with cilia. Here, paramecium containing cilia are present. Coming to amoeba, pseudopodia. Pseudopodia are the locomotory organelles in the amoeba and also for food capturing. So pseudopodia useful for locomotion and also for food collection. Amoeba takes a food material by expanding its pseudopodia. Okay, and lastly the food enters into the inside the pseudopodia. Then the pseudopodia elongates and prepares a food vacuole. It is a food vacuole. So like that, pseudopodial nutrition and also locomotion present in the amoeba. Ciliary locomotion and ciliary feeding is present in the paramecium. So this is the oral groove. Food or water enters inside through the oral groove, and this is the food vacuole. So the smallest bacteria or other smallest unicellular organisms, when they enters into the oral groove, if there is a food material, they catch the food material and prepares a food vacuole in the paramecium. It means unicellular animals like paramecium and amoeba, they can take food materials by using pseudopodia in the amoeba, ciliary locomotion and food capturing in the paramecium. Next, coming to the parasitic nutrition. parasitic nutrition in the plants, especially Cuscuta. Cuscuta is the plant, but it is a parasitic plant. It has a Hostoria. It has a finger-like Hostorias are there. These Hostoria, they insert inside the xylem up to the phloem. Xylem and phloem of the host plant, and they absorb the food and water molecules. So Cuscuta is one of the parasitic plant, also called daughter plant. Digestion in the human beings. In our body, digestion or digestive system in the human beings. In the digestive system of the human beings, there is a nasal chamber and there is a oral cavity. In the human digestive system, this is the nasal chamber. This is buccal cavity. So the anterior most, this is the mouth. Mouth leads into a buccal cavity. In the buccal cavity, there is a tongue. Tongue is there, and this part is called palate. In the human digestive system, the following parts are there: mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. These are the parts present in the human digestive system. Mouth. Mouth contains teeth, tongue, and salivary glands. Mouth contains teeth, tongue, and salivary glands. First one, teeth. Human teeth are heterodonts. Human teeth are called heterodonts because they are with different shapes and different functions. Heterodont. Heterodont. Human teeth are called heterodont because they are with different shapes and different functions. Number one, incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Incisors, canines, premolars, and molars are there. Totally, in our we have 32 teeth. Dental formula is equal to 2123 by 2123 in the human beings. Incisors, canines, premolars, and molars of the half of the upper jaw indicates the dental formula and half of the lower jaw. So upper jaw half part, lower jaw half part collectively gives a smallest equation, that is 2123 by 2123. First 2 is the incisors, canines, premolars and molars. So totally they are into 2 is equal to 32. 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 3 8. So half of the upper jaw containing 8, 8 into 2, that is 16, and lower part also 8 into 2, 16. Totally there are 32 teeth. So half of the upper jaw 2 to 4, 4 to the 8. So 8 incisors, 4 canines, 8 premolars and 12 molars. So 8 to 4, 8 to 12, 8 incisors, 4 canines, 8 premolars and 12 molars are present. Total 32 teeth are present. Next important every year asking question in the human digestive system is epiglottis. This is epiglottis. This is glottis, trachea, trachea. Trachea is opening. So the opening of trachea is called glottis, and the glottis there is a flap lid or cover is present above the glottis, that is called epiglottis. Epiglottis is useful to stop, inhibit the entering of food and water into the lungs. So epiglottis is the important half mark bit in the SSC examinations. Esophagus. The link between pharynx and stomach. The link between the pharynx and also stomach. Pharynx and stomach is called esophagus. So esophagus is the connecting link between the pharynx and also stomach, and no digestion takes place in the esophagus. Mouth. In the mouth saliva is present. Saliva containing an enzyme, thiolin, also called salivary amylase. So because of the salivary amylase, in the mouth the food is digested. The carbohydrates are digested into maltose and dextrose. Maltose and dextrose by salivary amylase, also called thiolin. But coming to the esophagus, there is no digestion takes place because there is no enzymes. And the movement of bolus, the food materials, the bolus, this is called bolus. The movement of bolus in the esophagus is like a wave-like structure, wave-like arrangement. This is called peristalsis movement. So peristaltic movement is present in the esophagus. The bolus from the pharynx reach the stomach by peristaltic movement. There is no digestion takes place in the esophagus. Stomach is a muscular organ and bag, muscular bag. The food enters into the stomach. Stomach produces two types of enzymes, pepsin and trypsin. Pepsin and trypsin, these two enzymes digest the protein substances. Saliva containing salivary amylase that converts the carbohydrates into maltose and dextrins. In the stomach, the pepsin and trypsin, they partially digest the protein molecules. Next part after the stomach is the duodenum. Important for your examination. Opens into the pancreatic duct. So the gallbladder containing bile juice and pancreas containing pancreatic juice. So duodenum receives both bile juice and pancreatic juice. Bile juice, important point is, bile juice is released into the digestive system, but bile juice not have any property in the digestion. Bile juice cannot participate in the digestion because there is no enzymes. Enzymes are absent in the bile juice. But the bile juice participate in the emulsification of fats. Fats are emulsified into smallest droplets by bile juice. Next, coming to the pancreatic juice, it containing pepsin, trypsin and peptidases and lipase. So all these enzymes from the pancreas, they digest the food materials in the small intestine. So small intestine is the part where the digestion is complete. Digested food enters into the blood. What is the digested food? Carbohydrates are converted into glucose, proteins converted into their amino acids, and lipids converted into their glycerol or fatty acids. These glucose, amino acid, glycerol, fatty acids are collectively called digested food. This digested food absorbed into the blood through small intestine villi. The finger-like projections present inside the small intestine are called villi. Villi are useful for increasing of the surface area of absorption. Deficiency diseases: kwashiorkor, marasmus, obesity. Kwashiorkor, marasmus, obesity are the deficiency diseases. So malnutrition causes deficiency of the food materials, and the deficiency of food causes diseases or disorders. Those are called deficiency diseases. Kwashiorkor, protein deficiency disease. Most important symptom is swollen body parts, the stomach and the limbs, forelimbs and hind limbs of that baby, they are swollen because accumulation of the water. Marasmus, it is both protein and calorie. So calories and proteins both are deficiency in this disease, that is called marasmus. The important symptoms are structures. The bones and the ribs are prominently visible outside. Prominently visible outside. They are very much thin. They are very much thin and without energy. That is called marasmus disease. And third one, obesity. So overeating and without working, overeating and not working, then what happened? The child, the person enters into obese. The carbohydrates and proteins, the excess carbohydrate, excess proteins, they are modified and converted into the fats. Fats are stored in the adipose tissue. So in our body, adipose tissues are there, and those adipose tissues receives the high amount of the lipids and fats, and the person looks obese, very much a fat person. That's called obesity. it leads to the high BP and heart or kidney diseases. Vitamins. Vitamins are the micronutrients. They require very much small quantity, but every day they require. Basing on the solubility, vitamins are two types: fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins are vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K are the fat soluble vitamins, whereas the water soluble vitamins are vitamin B and vitamin C. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe my channel Zoology Online Guru. I am Yatish Kumar, PGT Zoology. Thank you. Thanks for watching my video.